Boxing Truth here, back with another video. Gotta talk about Gennady Golovkin as he fights tonight in what will be a very important fight in his career. He's gonna show if he's still a top middleweight, as this is one of his better opponents that he's had throughout his middleweight championship reign, throughout his storied career in middleweight. Outside of Canelo, Derevyanchenko is one of the better opponents Golovkin has faced in his career. Derevyanchenko is a solid top contender who arguably beat Danny Jacobs and was the true IBF champion, at least in my eyes. But very important fight for Golovkin. There'll be bigger, more legacy fights on the horizon if he gets past Derevyanchenko tonight. I would like to see Golovkin win because, outside of Canelo, there are fights for him. I would like him to finally challenge himself and move up to 168 to fight a Callum Smith. That would be a great fight, a very interesting fight. Andrade wouldn't be bad. Jamal Charlo would be interesting. There are fights out there for Golovkin, and these are winnable fights that I mentioned. Even the Callum Smith fight, but that's a very dangerous fight at 168 for Golovkin. Taller, younger, fresher guy that can box to keep him on the outside. But against Derevyanchenko, he has an opportunity to make a statement, to show that he's still a top middleweight, still a force to be reckoned with. And he has an opportunity because Derevyanchenko is considered a pressure boxer, a technician, but that likes to put pressure. He's not a very explosive fighter. He's just a solid guy that knows how to box, that knows how to win some rounds. But he's a guy that usually stands in front of you. He's there to be hit. He can be hurt. He can be provide an opportunity for Golovkin to get a much-needed knockout win to really get people back on the bandwagon, to see if he really has anything left now that he's 37 years of age, coming off a clear defeat to Canelo, got his ass whooped. Golovkin fanboy is still in denial that he didn't lose that fight. You gotta just give it up, man. He lost the second fight. You want to say the first fight was close? Alright, but the second fight, Golovkin clearly lost. Everyone knows this. So he's heading into this fight as a former middleweight champion against a solid contender in Derevyanchenko. I don't see an upset special here. Derevyanchenko is not strong enough, not powerful enough to knock out Golovkin, and I don't think he's good enough to really make it a clear-cut decision here where he'll get the... I don't see him being good enough to be dominant enough to have a clear-cut win over Golovkin, because the only way he wins this fight will be by decision. So Derevyanchenko will be there to be hit. He's hittable. He's there in front of you. And he did get hurt in his last fight against Jack Colque, who is not as strong or not as powerful as Golovkin, not as good as Golovkin, and he's a naturally smaller guy. He's a 54-pounder. So Derevyanchenko struggled in his last fight. Barely got past Jack Colque. He won the fight, but barely. It was a good prize fight that he had. Momentum shifts back and forth. Golovkin's coming off a KO win over, a nobody. So it's a step in the right direction for Golovkin, taking on a solid contender as Derevyanchenko to see where he's at in his career. And we'll see what he's got. I expect Golovkin to win. I don't know how he wins. It could either be by decision, since Derevyanchenko's never been knocked out, or it can be by knockout, since Derevyanchenko did get hurt in his last fight against a lighter puncher and not as good as fighter in Jack Colque. So try very carefully on how you place your bets. If you had to twist my arm, I would say take Golovkin by KO, but it's a risky bet. it's also risky placing money on decision. So what I did was I just took Triple G on the money line straight up and parlayed it with the Yankees money line, and right now it's looking pretty damn good. So I expect a little payday tonight, as I expect Golovkin to get this victory and move on to bigger and better things. Hopefully a Callum Smith, an Andrade, a Jamal Charlo, even a Jaime Munguia I would accept. Those are all acceptable fights. Hopefully Golovkin will finally challenge himself further down the line and forget about Canelo. Canelo will make easy work of you the third time. Just forget about that fight, Triple G. Move on. Fight other names. There's other fights. There are other fights that will define your legacy. Y'all let me know what y'all think about tonight's fight, who you got. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.